Okay, my girl, come sit, make tea. Today we go into topic that make many women crazy, cry, overthink at 3 in morning, and write drunk texts they later want delete from history of universe. How men view sex. Before we start, quick thing, yes? I just posted new video on Patreon about how to be happy single, not fake. I love my independent queen era. And then you cry into ice cream, but real happy, grounded, peaceful, single. If you watch this one and you feel, okay, this hits, this is about me, go to Patreon later, watch that video, comment what part helped you most, and like it. This helped me make more content for you, and also we build our little smart girl club there. And yes, subscribe to Patreon. I put there more raw, more personal stories, things I cannot say everywhere, because internet sometimes stupid, you know. Also, happy holidays, my love. I don't care if it's Christmas, New Year, whatever you celebrate, or you just celebrate surviving this year. I wish you warmth, calm nervous system, and less bullshit in your love life. Now, what to expect today? I will speak to you like big sister who loves you, but will also grab you by shoulders and say, stop doing this to yourself. We talk about how many men see sex emotionally, biologically, socially. We bring science, not just TikTok quotes. I will use examples from movies and some plays, because cinema always show our collective fantasies and illusions. I will be sassy, little sarcastic, maybe 1 or 2 curses will escape, but from love, okay? And at the end I give you homework so you are not just passively listening, you actually change something. So, let's begin. You know how in many romantic movies woman treats sex like final test of trust, but man often treats sex like start button, not final exam? This is first big misunderstanding. Take for example, Friends with Benefits with Mila Kunis and Justin Timberlake. For her, she pretends at beginning, oh, it's casual, we are just bodies, no problem. But slowly, sex becomes doorway to feelings. For him, at beginning, it is really just fun, physical, stress relief, no strings attached. Only later he starts realizing emotional connection. This pattern is very common in life. There is research from psychology and evolutionary biology that explains little bit. Men, on average, have higher baseline level of testosterone, which is hormone connected to sexual drive and risk-taking. Studies show men report more desire for casual sex and more frequent sexual thoughts compared to women. Also, for many men, body can react sexually even when heart is not involved. Their arousal system is more easily triggered, visually and physically. This does not mean men cannot love deeply, it just means their body and brain sometimes are not synchronized with their heart the way we women think. Imagine there is man watching movie Basic Instinct or Casino Royale, where Bond sleeps with woman, and then move on like she was appetizer, not main dish. Cinema centers male fantasy, sex as adventure, as sport. His brain grows up seeing sex as something he does, an action, like mission, while girl grows up watching The Notebook, Pride and Prejudice, Roman Holiday, where sex is culmination of intimate story, symbol of deep commitment, the highest moment of closeness. So you and him walk into bed with 2 different scripts playing in background. In one famous study, scientists looked at male and female brains while watching erotic material. For both, arousal centers in brain light up okay, but women often also show activation in areas connected to emotional evaluation and self-referential thinking. What does this mean? How do I feel about this? What does this say about me? Men's brains, on average, show more activity in regions connected to visual processing and movement. For women, sex is more often connected to meaning. For man, more often to sensation. Not always, but statistically. So you see problem. You come into sex like character from Titanic, thinking this is our love story, and he comes like James Bond on mission. And then you cry, why he not call me back? My love, because he did not even open same script you reading. There is beautiful old Russian play, Three Sisters by Chekhov. There is character, Irina, who wants big love, big meaning, big future. But men around often treat relationships like side quest to their own ambitions and boredom. This is exactly like many modern situations. Woman invests her heart in sex, man invests his body. but heart still busy with his career, his fears, his past. I tell you something bit harsh now. Many men can separate sex and love much easier than many women can. You can fight reality or you can understand it and play smarter. Let's talk about hookup culture. In movies like Love and Other Drugs or No Strings Attached, they try to sell fantasy that casual sex can stay casual forever. Usually by second act someone catches feelings. In real life, similar. For many men, casual sex stays casual. For many women, hormones make it more complicated. When woman has sex, especially repeated with same man, her body releases more oxytocin, often called bonding hormone. In breastfeeding and cuddling, same hormone works. It literally makes you feel more attached, safe, and connected. Men also have oxytocin release, but testosterone can blunt its bonding effect. There is research showing that with higher testosterone, men can maintain more emotional distance during sex. Not all men, but enough that you must take it into account. You might tell yourself, we are just having fun, I'm modern, I don't catch feelings, but your body might not agree. You wake up after fifth night together, his hoodie smells like him. You feel this warm stupid softness in chest, and you think, maybe he is the one. No, maybe it's oxytocin, not soulmate. Think of movie Pretty Woman. It is giant fantasy. Professional escort sleeps with client, they bond, and he rescues her, falls in love, they live happily ever after. This story is delicious lie for many women. Maybe if sex is great, he will change, he will commit, he will see my value. In many men's minds, sex does not automatically equal she is my future wife. It mostly means I was attracted at that moment. Huge difference. I remember in Chekhov's The Seagull, there is relationship between Nina and Trigorin. He is older writer, she is young girl full of dreams. He seduces her, and for him, it is like passing passion, material for his book. For her, it shatters whole life. This is old play, but dynamic is same today. For him, sex and romance is moment. For her, it becomes identity earthquake. Science shows also that men and women on average evaluate sexual success differently. Research from sociosexuality studies shows that many men report feeling more successful or masculine with higher number of partners, while many women feel more secure with quality of connection and commitment. Again, averages, not destiny, but influences behavior. So when you go into man's bed, you must remember, he can genuinely, sincerely enjoy you, want your body, be kind, be charming, and still not see you as long-term partner. This is not always sign he is demon. It's sign that for many men, sex is not deep commitment. If you forget this, you will misread his body's yes as his soul's yes. Now let's talk about this stupid belief that if sex is amazing, relationship will work. You see it in movies like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They fight, they shoot, they have violent, passionate sex, and we think, wow, that's chemistry, that's love. Or 50 Shades of Grey, woman thinks because sex is intense and he is obsessed with her body, it means he is good partner. He is not. He is just controlling man with trauma and money. Science will tell you that early intense sexual attraction is driven by dopamine and novelty. Brain loves new experiences. When you meet someone and have strong sexual chemistry, dopamine and norepinephrine spike. You feel obsessed, euphoric, cannot sleep, cannot eat, you feel like drug addict. That's why they call it limerence. But this is not stable love. This is chemical party. For many men, this party is whole point. They chase the high more than the person. There is research measuring how long this crazy early phase lasts. It usually fades within 12 to 18 months. After that, different system kicks in. Oxytocin, vasopressin, calm bonding. Men who are addicted to chase of sex high will often disappear after this period or start cheating or pick fights. Women who confuse intensity with intimacy will suffer again and again because they think, if we fight and make up with crazy sex it means passion. No, it means your nervous system is addicted to chaos. Look at movie Blue Valentine. At beginning, relationship between Ryan Gosling and Michelle Williams is full of sweetness and sex and romance. Later, they are miserable. The sex is there, but connection is broken. This film shows reality many people face. Good sex cannot fix emotional immaturity, lack of shared values, and unresolved trauma. Men who use sex as main tool to feel close will often avoid deeper conversations. Because sex is easier than vulnerability, there was interesting study that found men often use sex to regulate emotions. When they feel stressed, rejected, low self-esteem, they can look for sex to feel validated and powerful again. Women do this too, but men report it more often. This means sometimes when man has sex with you, it is not because he values you as person. It is because he needs medicine for his ego. You become his emotional painkiller. Later, when pain passes, he disappears, and you sit there like, did I imagine everything? No, he was there, but he was there for himself, not for you. In ancient Greek play, Lysistrata, women go on sex strike to force men to stop war. It's comedy, but idea is interesting. Men see sex as powerful drive, and women use that power to get political result. Even thousands years ago, writers understood that male desire can be strong but not always connected to heart. This is why you cannot use sex as tool to buy love. You can influence him for a moment, but you cannot build lifetime commitment on construction made from orgasms. Another thing we must talk, for many men, sex is big part of identity. Society raised boys with message, real man is sexually experienced, real man wants sex always, real man is strong, always ready. So some men treat sex like performance, like exam they must pass. They might even use you to prove something to themselves or to friends. This is brutal to hear, I know, but better know it than act like naive child in adult world. In movie American Pie, whole story is boys trying to lose virginity before graduation. We laugh, but this is real cultural script. Male worth measured in sexual conquest. Or think about Don Juan's story, classic from theater. Don Juan seduces hundreds of women, not because he loves any, but because his ego feeds on numbers. Many men today are diet version of Don Juan. Less dramatic, more on dating apps, but same emptiness inside. There is research showing that for men, sexual rejection can hurt their sense of masculinity deeply. Some will respond by chasing more partners to prove themselves. Others will pressure or manipulate women into sex to not feel insecure. So when you meet man who is obsessed with sex, always pushing, always joking about it, not caring about your pace, he might not be horny, he might be insecure. His dick is trying to fix his identity crisis. At same time, there are men who feel opposite pressure. They are not super sexual, or they have performance anxiety, and they feel broken because culture tells them men always want sex. They might avoid intimacy entirely. You might think he doesn't desire me, when really he's terrified he cannot perform like porn. Movies rarely show this nuance. They show either macho man who is sex machine or nerd, who becomes sexy prince at end. Real life is more messy. Many good men do not lead with sex, they lead with conversation, with time, with care. But our brains are trained by movies to see intense sexual chemistry as sign of real thing. So you might overlook guy who would be great partner because with him, sex starts slower, or his vibe is more gentle. There is nice example in movie When Harry Met Sally. At start, Harry is a bit cynical, kind of man-whore type. He believes men and women cannot be friends because sex always gets in way. Sally is more idealistic. Over years of friendship, emotional intimacy grows, then sex comes as result of deep connection. At first, sex scares him, he runs, acts like idiot, but later he realizes this is actually love. This is closer to how healthy men grow. They reorganize their view of sex from conquest to connection when they are emotionally mature. Science backs this. Longitudinal studies show that men who are in secure, committed relationships start to experience sex as more emotional and meaningful over time. Their hormone profiles also change. Testosterone can drop slightly, which is associated with more nurturing behavior. So men are not doomed to shallow sex, they can grow. But they grow with experience, self-reflection, sometimes therapy, not just because you gave them best sex of their life. We also need to talk about porn, because it completely fucked up perception of sex for many men. Porn shows sex as non-stop circus. Women always ready, always orgasming from penetration alone, no need for emotional context. Man watches this from young age, and his brain wires. Sex is performance, women love being used, intimacy not needed. There are studies showing heavy porn use in men is connected to more casual attitudes to sex, more objectification of partners, and sometimes problems with real-life arousal because real woman doesn't match fantasy. In movie Don John, Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays guy addicted to porn. He has real girlfriend, played by Scarlett Johansson, but he prefers porn because it gives him control, no work, no emotional risk. He sees women as bodies, not humans. Only later, through relationship with older woman, he learns that real intimacy is not about perfect porn scenes, but about mutual vulnerability. This movie is, honestly, one of best modern portraits of how porn distorts male sexual view. Many men learn sex from porn, not from healthy mentors. In porn, there is no aftercare, no "how do you feel?", no conversations about boundaries. So he might think grabbing you a bit rough or ignoring your pleasure is normal. If you don't speak up, he assumes you're fine. In his mind, sex is something he does to you, not with you. This is why communication is so important. But I know many women stay silent because they don't want to seem difficult or demanding. Look at movie Bridesmaids. There is one guy, casual partner of main character, played by John Hamm. He treats her like body to use, disappears after sex, doesn't care about her feelings. She pretends she is cool with it, but inside she is broken. This is many women's real life. He sees sex as fun, she secretly hopes he will fall in love. That mismatch is core of our topic. Science shows that women who engage in casual sex while actually wanting emotional intimacy report higher rates of depression and regret, not because sex itself is evil, but because their behavior is not aligned with their heart. Men report less emotional consequence in same contexts, but they can still show increased loneliness and anxiety if using sex like drug. So both genders suffer when sex replaces real intimacy. Another dimension. For many men, sex is language of love. Not all men are good with words. He might not say "I love you" or write long messages, but when he touches you, holds you, has sex with you, this is his way to feel close. The problem is, if he never learned emotional vocabulary, then he uses sex to express everything: love, apology, stress, guilt. You might confuse his sexual attention with emotional maturity. In movie Silver Linings Playbook, relationship between Tiffany and Pat is messy. Tiffany uses sex after her husband dies as way to cope with pain. Men in her town see her as object. Pat is confused, broken. They build connection not through sex first, but through dance and vulnerability. Sex comes from mutual healing, not as first step. This film shows that when two people are emotionally complicated, sex can be either weapon or medicine, depending how they use it. Research on attachment styles shows that avoidant men, those who fear closeness, may prefer sexual relationships with less emotional entanglement. They like physical intimacy, but keep emotional walls. They might pull away right after sex when woman feels most tender, not because she did something wrong, but because intimacy scares them. Meanwhile, anxious women, those who fear abandonment, often feel most attached after sex. So you have perfect tragedy. Man who runs when too close, woman who clings when close. Many romantic movies and plays show this dynamic, but we romanticize it instead of seeing it as trauma dance. Think of classic play Romeo and Juliet. They have huge passion, sneak around, have one night together, then everything ends in disaster. People say, "Oh, such love." No, such impulsive teenage nervous system explosion. If this story happened today, Romeo would probably ghost after a few weeks. Juliet would stalk his Instagram and cry with sad playlist. Many of you are in your own modern Romeo and Juliet, confusing adrenaline with destiny. So what to do with all of this? You are not here just to listen to theory. You want to know how to protect yourself, how to be happy, how to know what man really means when he wants sex. First, my love, understand that when man wants sex with you, it tells you one thing only: he is sexually attracted. It does not tell you he respects you, he wants relationship, he is emotionally available, he is over his ex, he sees you as future mother of his children. It tells you his body says yes. Don't add extra subtitles that he never said. Look at movie Crazy Stupid Love. Ryan Gosling's character is player, he has line, he has seduction game. He takes Emma Stone's character home with intention for one night stand. But what makes that night special is not sex. It's that they end up just talking and connecting. For him, this is new experience. He is used to bodies, not souls, and that is what changes him. The turning point is emotional intimacy, not physical. This is your clue. Judge man by how he behaves outside bedroom, not by fireworks inside. Second, notice his behavior before sex. Is he investing time, effort, consistency, or only texting at 11 p.m.? You up? Like boring cliche? In Notting Hill, before any sex, we see Hugh Grant's character run through half London to apologize, waiting, showing up. The intimacy is built through actions. Later, when they finally sleep together, it fits into bigger story. Men who are serious about you will show seriousness in other areas, not just under blankets. Third, after sex, watch his patterns. A man who views sex as part of emotional connection will become more attentive, more protective, more present after intimacy. A man who views sex as purely physical will often relax like mission complete, and his effort can drop. In movie 500 Days of Summer, he romanticizes everything. She sees relationship as casual. After they sleep together, he thinks, we are basically couple. She still sees it as fun. The difference is in what they do after, not during. She stays same, he projects story. Many women are like him in real life. Don't be. Another angle. Some men have grown past stage of casual sex. They see sex as sacred, as mutual vulnerability. These men exist. They might not be loudest in room, but they are there. They will talk about boundaries, consent, pleasure, health. They will say things like, we can wait until you feel ready. You see this kind of male character in movies less, but sometimes in indie films, like Before Sunrise. The whole film is about two people walking, talking, connecting. No rush. When they finally get intimate, it feels organic, not transactional. That kind of sex is what nourishes both partners. Science supports that when couples wait a bit before having sex, they report higher relationship satisfaction later. Not because waiting is moral rule, but because it gives time to see if there is real compatibility beyond physical. It filters out men who just want quick release. One study found that couples who delayed sex past first few weeks were more likely to have stable relationships. Why? Because men who are willing to invest time without sex are often more relationship-oriented. Now, let's talk briefly about that Patreon video I told you at beginning, about being happy single. This connects strongly to our topic. Many women use sex as shortcut to intimacy because they are scared of being alone. They think, if I say no, he will leave, and I will be alone again. So they override their own boundaries, have sex before they feel safe, then get attached to wrong man. If you learn to be genuinely happy, single, you don't bargain with your body for scraps of affection. You can say no without panic. You can say, I like you, but I need more time. And if he leaves, you feel sad, but not destroyed. In that Patreon video, I go much deeper about how to build life where your value does not depend on who is texting you at night. So after this, go watch it, comment what resonated and like it. I want to know what part hits you most, so I can build more stuff for you. Another important thing, some of you think, if I withhold sex, he will value me more. No, this is manipulative game. Sex is not currency to buy love, and men are not vending machines. You can delay sex to protect your heart, to get clarity, which I encourage. But if you use it as weapon, you will attract men who also play games. Healthy men want honesty, not manipulation. You can see in play Much Ado About Nothing, there is lot of teasing, pride, battle of wits between Beatrice and Benedict. They don't manipulate with sex, they challenge each other intellectually. Their intimacy grows from mutual respect, not from playing hot-cold. And we must mention darker side. Many women stay in bad relationships because sex is good. The body becomes addicted to his touch, even when heart knows he is wrong. In Gone Girl, both characters are toxic, but you see how they use sex to keep each other hooked even while destroying each other emotionally. If you ever been in a relationship where fights were awful but makeup sex felt like drug, you know this dynamic. Neurologically, when you combine sex with high emotional drama, brain gets stronger imprint. Adrenaline plus dopamine plus oxytocin equals superglue. This is why toxic relationships feel so intense. It doesn't mean it is great love, it means your nervous system is on roller coaster. Men who are chaotic sometimes love this because they confuse drama with passion. They might even think if she is jealous and crazy, she really cares. But long term, this burns everyone out. So how many men view sex? Summary and human.